Whakatau mai, rotu I te piringa o te korero, tātou o te ao, te tū hono hono wairu, tātou tīpune, yeah.
The Common Ground series of exhibitions is really a way for Puke Ariki to present to its audience, both a local audience and visitors coming into the region, our history, our collections, our community. So the plan is for 5 years to show different aspects of our community and all of the collections and the resources that we hold in Puke Ariki.
Well, this exhibition just had a massive number of AVs. It was huge. The first thing a visitor experiences is sound of the sea, sound of birds, as if they were first arriving in a virgin New Zealand. And then they go down the stairs into the exhibition space and they're welcomed by a karanga. And then we moved into something called the River of Identity, which was something that we lined up a whole lot of people and we asked them to tell us where they were from and a little bit about themselves.
Hello, my name is Jeti Ryan. I come from Indonesia. I come to Taranaki because my husband working here. I love New Zealand very much.
Hello, my name is Lauren Andrioli and I'm a third generation New Zealander. I've lived in Taranaki all my life and I can't wait to experience overseas travel. I may be a while, but I know I'll be back one day.
And then following through the exhibition, you could go to the living room, which is a fabulous scene where they set up an average living room, and our brief as filmmakers was to try and recreate the living rooms of all of the different people that arrived in New Zealand. So we interviewed all sorts of people.
Our challenge was to interview something like 30 different ethnic people about why they came to New Zealand. What was the journey like? What was the culture shock when they arrived in New Zealand? What parts of their culture have they retained? Where can they see themselves and their children fitting into the Taranaki community in the future? We had some amazing responses. Some were very funny and humorous, some were quite angry and angst, and some were quite emotional and tearful. The real challenge then was condensing 30 or 40 hours of high caliber interview footage down to just 1 hour of a documentary. But it worked. It was a great end product.
The only problem here when we arrived was how fast the New Zealanders speak.
New Zealand English is the hardest language to learn, and it's true.
It's unbelievable. It took us 2 months to pick up the phone and don't be afraid of what the people will say on the other line.
When I first came here, you know how we study English in China, but it's kind of like book English and it's really American. We would say, how do you do? And how do you do? I'm fine, thank you. And you? And when I first came here, nobody spoke like, how do you do? They were like, how's going? I would be like.
And while we interviewed those people, they were asked by Puke Ariki to give one object to the exhibition, and so we had a touch screen and a display set up where they explained why they chose what they did, and there were some really interesting objects that people chose.
Well, this key is from the front door of Te Raukura Meeting House, which was Te Whiti's meeting house at Pariaka, which was built in the late 19th century as his centre of operations. And Te Raukura burnt down in 1960, and the key is one of the few artefacts or parts of the house that survived.
What I found significant about this exhibition was that it gave tangata Whenua a voice. They were able to talk about the impacts of immigration on their community, and in the interviews that I carried out, they were pretty amazing.
You strip a people from their culture, from their language, from their ethics, from their beliefs, from their principles, and they're left in a vacuum with nothing. And if there's nothing there to replace it, well, they will naturally fall to the bottom of the economic social structure of society.
We don't have the homes that they have. It's not our children driving the BMWs. It's not our families going into joint ventures with local businesses. We can't do those things because we don't own the farms anymore that we used to own.
I think when this exhibition was organized and open for different cultures to use up the performance space in the studio, it was really to build a strong bridge across different cultures.
When we were invited to put up something at the studio, we thought what we would do is put up a sari exhibition, because we're always asked how we wear the saris and everything about it. And it was one whole Saturday afternoon, and I'm sure everybody had a great time, and because people are still talking about it afterwards.
The exhibition was greatly successful in that it promoted genealogy, and there was a lot of interest. Some people decided they needed to do a beginner's course, which we offered. The exhibition appealed to quite a wide age group. The children that were coming in really enjoyed the photo wall. We offered quite a few resources, particularly the computers were popular, with the various websites which were Taranaki based, but also other genealogy websites. Yes, it was a really wide appeal.
Takapou Whariki is the first in a series of exhibitions. The first 4 deal with the social, environmental, cultural and economic well-beings of Taranaki. And then the 5th exhibition is about the Taranaki Land Wars, and it'll be the anniversary of the Land Wars in 2010.
The TSB Community Trust was so impressed by the way that Puke Ariki put the exhibition together that actually attracted huge numbers to the exhibition, that we have agreed now and are committed to funding of this project through to 2010.
Every different ethnic has got their part on contributing to the country. Even though they're different, or we're different, we do have our gift that we pass on into the New Zealand community.